They're big, they're glitzy, they're glamorous, and they're Instagrammable. Many Nigerian couples are choosing to not just have one wedding, but 3. Like Echina and his wife Leah. You may have seen these two. Their wedding has been watched by more than 1 million people online.
Wedding is going to go viral. Just from a genuine point of view, I love to have a big wedding. I'd love to, do everything in an extra way, because that's just how I am. I'm very creative.
They chose to have a Catholic ceremony and a big white wedding and a traditional Igbo Nigerian wedding, but it came at a cost.
So the traditional wedding, we went over budget.
You think?
We had a set.
No.
We had a set budget. I'm not going to say what the budget was. And at the end of it, when I calculated it in my head, because that's what I do, I worked out that we had gone over budget by twice as much.
So whose fault was that, would you say?
Both of us.
Both
our faults.
You're a good man.
But mainly, no names, but mainly someone else's fault.
Wow. Wow.
Echina and Leah's wedding was picked up by social media accounts, but that's not the reason they had a big wedding.
We spent a lot on, I think even all 3 of them, even the second one, which was just the Catholic wedding, turned into a mini wedding anyway as well, which was, yeah.
Yeah, so
that was, I think, you and your mum's doing.
And do you have any regrets? Would you change anything?
That's how we wanted our ideal magical wedding to look like.
We didn't do our wedding because we wanted to be on Bella Niger or, be on all these social media accounts. We didn't want to do it like that. We just wanted to have a really good wedding. End of the day, when you go on Bella Niger, you'll be there for one day, a few hours, and then there'll be another wedding. So you'll be forgotten. And that's just how it is.
Some people think the lavish ceremonies are drawing attention away from what weddings should be about.
Pictures different.
Mrs. Yinka Emmanuel is an officiator of traditional Yoruba Nigerian weddings, and her services are in high demand.
How many do you do a week?
2 to 3, at most 4.
Where are you going next?
I'm going to Miami next. And if people like what you do, they don't mind the costs. 15 years ago when I started, traditional wedding was not like this. It's just like, yes, they do it in a hall, but now it's a big thing. People spend money. One thing I would say is it's good, but in a way, I think people need to tone it down a bit.
Echina and Leah believe couples should be careful about going overboard.
It's great, it's glitz and glam, but it's expensive. And if you haven't got the money, don't get in debt. Don't start off your marriage like that, because you'll be affected. We wouldn't have been able to buy our house if we'd broken the bank and we were getting into debt. It would have just been mad.
Would you do all 3 again?
We didn't intentionally want to have 3 weddings, but that's just how it happened. And I think it was just, that was our journey, and it was hard. We did spend a lot of money, but I would do it all over again.